Welcome back to the deep dive.
Oh,
Okay, grab your conflict matrix, seriously, because today we are strapping in for quite a ride.
yeah.
We're doing a high-speed tour through what looks like a brewing storm in Salem. We've got this stack of detailed spoilers focusing on 3 really intense weeks in September 2025, but also looking, further into the fall.
Right, and forget trying to track all the double crosses and secret tests yourself. It's a lot.
It really is. So we've done the field work, and honestly, what we found suggests the whole town is about to get shaken up by this terrifying mix of corporate spying, some really dark science stuff, and a baby adoption drama.
Yeah, major baby adoption drama. Okay, so our mission today, it's pretty straightforward, but also really crucial. We're cutting through all that narrative fog for this period, starting right around September 8th.
Right.
We need to nail down the 3 big interconnected conflicts driving the whole fall season. We got to understand the real motivations, especially with the Demera and Kiriaki's corporate fights.
Always those 2.
Always. And we need to prep you for some really shocking reveals.
Deep cuts.
By the end of this, you'll be totally up to date, not just on what's happening, but why it all matters in this, let's face it, incredibly complex world.
And trust me, the sources hit us right away with some absolute bombshells, like foundational stuff that just screams unprecedented danger.
Yeah.
We're talking E.J. Demera running actual, and I quote, twisted experiments out of University Hospital, a public place.
I know, that detail's wild.
Then there's this huge corporate espionage war.
Yeah.
All-out stuff between the Demeras and Kiriakises. One wrong move, financial ruin, maybe even jail. And sort of weaving through it all is this really high-stakes baby adoption drama, Baby Tesoro. And it's crashing right into this massive, long-running secret about who shot E.J. months back.
It's like all the plot lines are on a collision course.
Exactly. The convergence is genuinely terrifying.
Okay.
So let's start where the money is, right?
Yeah.
And a long-term conflict. That intense corporate warfare, specifically the fight for Titan Demera versus the Demeras trying to grab it back.
Right.
The first real flashpoint hits September 8th. And it's classic Salem. Almost farcical, but the risk is incredibly high.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how low-tech it is, considering the billions flying around Philip Kiriakis and Xander Cook trying to run Titan Demera.
Yeah.
They apparently just freak out when they find a bug, a literal listening device, planted inside a pen in their office.
A pen.
I know, but they realize immediately, okay, we're compromised. Someone's listening to every confidential move.
And the setup just confirms the sheer recklessness involved. The culprit, Gabi Hernandez.
Of course.
And she makes the classic spy mistake. She leaves the pen behind after using it to write a note. Like Spycraft 101 failure right there.
It really is, but it creates that immediate tension, doesn't it? Gabi now has to scramble, trying to stay one step ahead.
Because Philip and Xander, they're actually working together for once. A united front, the sources say, focused on finding the enemy within.
They know someone's listening, and yeah, they're hunting. It says a lot about Gabi's state of mind, though. So desperate to get that company back, she's taking these amateur risks.
Totally. She just got out of huge legal trouble herself.
Exactly. Putting everything on the line for the CEO job she wants. And the sources point to a specific weak link that could blow her cover wide open. Alex Kiriakis.
Oh, how so?
Well, he might just casually mention, oh yeah, Gabi left that pen. Totally innocent comment, right? But boom, cover blown.
Wow.
And it severely complicates the whole Demera takeover she's banking on. It's that tiny civilian detail that can bring it all down. Her position is suddenly super precarious right when she needs to be sharp.
Okay, so shifting over to the Demera side, September 9th, we see how this corporate stuff impacts the family dynamic big time.
Yeah.
Theo Carver returns to Salem.
Played by a new actor now, Tyler Andrews.
Right. And his uncle, Tony Demera, isn't just happy to see him. He's apparently super excited.
Yeah, and Tony's excitement isn't just, family warmth. It's strategic. Deeply strategic.
Also,
The moment Theo walks in, Tony hits him with a proposition, and the sources are clear. It's tied to the Demera takeback, reclaiming the company, kicking out the current leadership.
and this is where the internal Demera conflict really flares up, right?
Yeah.
Based on that whole bloodline thing.
Exactly. This is Gabi's absolute nightmare scenario playing out.
Because she was promised the CEO job.
She was. Tony promised her the top spot once they got the company back. But the second Theo, a legit born and bred Demera, shows up. Gabi has to immediately, forcefully remind Tony about that promise.
Oof, tough spot.
It's structural historical. Tony, channeling Stefano, believes in blood over everything else. he might just instantly favor Theo because Gabi is, quote, not a legit Demera by birth.
So if Tony switches allegiance to his nephew,
Gabi loses that promised CEO role instantly. Huge risk for her, right as her Titan spy mission might be about to collapse anyway. Her whole position is built on a promise, not birthright.
wow, so it's like a three-way power struggle shaping up.
Totally. Tony, wanting control but needing a trusted heir. Gabi promised power through sheer ruthlessness and skill. And Theo, the returning bloodline favorite.
And what about Theo's parents, Abe and Paulina?
They're there, offering support naturally. But the sources raise a good question. Does Theo tell them about Tony's job offer straight away? Or does he, get distracted flirting with Ariana Horton? Priorities.
It's a return that's shaking up corporate succession and romance simultaneously. Vintage Salem, really.
Meanwhile, back at Titan, the Kyriakis brothers are dealing with their own drama thanks to Gabi's bug.
Right. Philip and Xander, they're forced into some brotherly bonding.
But not the warm, fuzzy kind, I take it.
Definitely not. It's purely strategic. They have to be on the same page for their corporate defense, especially with Gabi listening in.
Makes sense.
And this bonding, it serves a neat double purpose narratively. While they're presenting that united front against Gabi, Philip is also trying to push Xander and Sarah Horton back together, trying to facilitate a reconciliation. Connecting the corporate plot to the romance. Always.
Exactly. It links the high-stakes corporate game Finding the Mole to that deep, messy, long-running relationship drama. Because Philip knows Xander's vulnerable when he's distracted by Sarah, right?
Right. No conflict stays purely business in Salem. Ever. Okay, so part one was about, the relatively mundane crimes of money and corporate spying.
Mundane for Salem, maybe?
True. Well, part two plunges us into something way darker. Sheer malice, high-level federal investigations, secret identities. We're zeroing in on E.J. Demera because his schemes, they seem to go way beyond just a hostile takeover. He's operating on multiple, probably highly illegal levels.
Let's look at the relationship he's messing with right now. Chad Demera and Kat Green.
Right. Early September, Jennifer and Jack, the town's moral compass, they get disturbing news, potentially about Chad and Kat's, entanglement.
And the sources are careful. They say they're not even really dating. They're more just making out in private. But it's clearly causing friction. The established families, they don't trust Kat.
And right around then, just as EJ starts poking around, Chad gets an apology from Kat.
Okay, interesting. Apology for what, though? That's the question.
Two possibilities raised. One, was she apologizing for pressuring Chad about her brother, Dr. Mark Green's parole hearing? Crossing a line there. Or two, was it about the heat their relationship is causing, his family hating her?
And EJ definitely jumps on that family hatred angle, doesn't he?
Oh, totally. He's the textbook puppet master.
Yeah.
Always trying to control people, especially his brother. He starts prodding Chad about his feelings for Kat, calling him out on it, apparently.
It's just like that Bachelorette auction thing, remember? Where EJ bid on Kat just to give the date to Chad.
Yeah. He loves messing with Chad's head. Maybe to keep him distracted. Or just off balance within Demera Enterprises.
Could be both. But here's where it shifts, right? From messy family drama to full-on spy thriller.
Yes, this is huge. Because little do Chad or EJ know, Kat isn't just some passing fling who gives awkward apologies.
Nope. She is actively investigating EJ for the ISA, working with her FBI colleague, Ray Fernandez.
Boom, mic drop.
Seriously, this changes everything. Kat isn't a love interest. She's a federal operative with a dangerous, hidden agenda.
So her whole relationship with Chad is?
A cover, a means to an end, which puts Chad in direct danger just by being near EJ's illegal activities. And it paints a massive target on Kat's back. EJ does not tolerate threats.
Especially not federal ones working undercover. Wow.
Well,
okay.
So, speaking of dangerous behavior, we need to talk about the big, central, frankly, terrifying mystery here. EJ's twisted science.
Right. The sources confirm his dark schemes aren't just corporate. They're scientific, and they're unraveling right now.
And the location. Secret new offices and a new lab at University Hospital.
A functioning lab. In the hospital?
That's what it says. And the fact that someone like EJ, already wielding huge corporate and criminal power, is messing with, quote, twisted experiments in a public hospital, that is deeply alarming.
It goes way beyond financial fraud, doesn't it? It sounds medical, biological, something nefarious.
Given the Demera family history, mind control, weird genetic stuff, resurrection attempts, you have to wonder, is he funding human experiments? Memory manipulation, or maybe it's corporate espionage related, testing dangerous serums, next-gen weapons.
And doing it at a university hospital. That's what makes it so incredibly dark.
Exactly. It implies huge ethical breaches, massive legal risks for the hospital itself. A supposedly clean public institution harboring illegal research for a known corporate criminal.
It tells you EJ must feel completely untouchable, using the hospital as a shield.
And the experiments must be seriously dangerous if he needs that kind of sterile, advanced setting. He's got to be bribing or coercing people there to look the other way. This isn't just some side hustle. It feels foundational, like it could lead to major disaster.
And the future warnings seem to confirm that. A heads up for mid-fall, Halloween specifically.
Yeah, a potential slasher. Who might target Alex, Chad, and Kat?
Now, the sources add that caveat, right? The October 31st episode is often standalone, doesn't always impact the main plots.
But still, the threat itself highlights the extreme danger swirling around Chad and Kat, the ISA operative, and EJ's pawn and Alex, who's caught in that Titan bugging mess.
Yeah. Anyone close to EJ or his secrets is basically walking through a minefield.
Yeah.
His world is absolutely lethal right now.
Okay, let's shift gears completely. Away from corporate fights and spy games into something deeply personal. The Tesoro baby adoption race.
Right. And this storyline feels like the perfect emotional flashpoint. A place where a huge hidden secret is about to get blown wide open by a simple DNA test.
It really does feel like a massive emotional bomb just ticking away in Salem.
So the race officially kicks off September 11th. Chanel Dupree makes her move.
She tells Johnny DeMera she's ready to adopt. And she knows which baby she wants, Tesoro.
It shows how serious they are, right? As a young couple trying to build a family.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But complication arrives immediately. Fierce competition.
Who else is in the running?
Leo Stark and Javi Hernandez, they are also seriously considering adopting Tesoro now that the official waiting period is over.
Leo and Javi. Okay, that sets up a very interesting legal fight. High stakes, and you know personal history is going to be weaponized.
Oh, definitely. And both Leo and Javi have major obstacles, legally speaking. Melinda Trask being Melinda Trask.
Always stirring the pot.
She apparently already warned Javi, pointed out his tragic past, his child dying, and flat out called Leo a past con man.
Ouch.
Basically told Javi if there's anything skeletons in your closet, it could sink the whole adoption. And for Leo, oh boy, any of his old schemes. Faking illnesses, financial scams, wedding plots.
Yeah, let's pause on Leo. When they say past con man, we're talking about a long and colorful history, aren't we?
Absolutely. Posing as a financial guru, manipulating people, crashing weddings,
Okay.
all for money or social climbing. Melinda Trask will have an absolute field day dragging all that up in court.
So the idea of him passing the intense scrutiny of an adoption process, it seems intensely difficult, no matter how much Javi wants this family.
Their pasts are definitely their biggest hurdle here, but what really kicks this story into high gear is Brady Black getting involved. Suddenly, intuitively.
Okay.
September 12th. Brady gets a critical clue from his son, Tate, and it sparks this major hunch about who Tesoro's parents really are.
A clue from Tate. Interesting.
Yeah, and Brady knows it's serious. He immediately fills Steve Johnson in on his hunch, and at the same time, Rafe Hernandez.
Who's already busy investigating EJ via Kat.
Right. Rafe gets tasked with the super sensitive job of running a DNA test on baby Tesoro.
Okay. Here we go. The DNA test.
And the immediate, overwhelming expectation, based on the sources, the goal is to match Tesoro to Tate Black.
Meaning Tate is the father.
Meaning Tate is the father, and the baby's been, right under their noses all along.
Wow. That would be absolutely massive. Life-altering for Tate, for Brady, the whole Black family. Connects the baby right into two huge Salem dynasties.
Huge implications. But
Yeah.
a good deep dive always looks at the alternatives, right?
True. What else could it be?
The sources pose the question, what if the results don't match Tate? What if they point to someone else? Like maybe Aaron Green, Kat Green's brother, the one causing trouble.
Ooh. Okay, that connects things differently.
Exactly. The DNA test will solve the mystery of who the parents are, but the drama hinges entirely on which family tree that baby gets grafted onto. Tate means a family emergency. Aaron means a whole new layer of conflict linking back to Kat and therefore back to EJ.
All right, this next part really dives into the emotional core, doesn't it? The fallout from all those secrets Salem tries to bury, especially the ones about to explode from inside the families.
Yeah, and the primary catalyst, the most explosive one, it looks like young Rachel Black.
What sets her off?
Her devastating downward spiral apparently starts when Brady tells her the hard truth. Her mother, Kristen DiMera, is gone. 6 years in prison, unavoidable.
Oh, poor kid. That's rough.
She's completely distraught, freaks out, and crucially starts blaming herself, telling Holly Jonas it's all her fault.
Okay, that self-blame, that feels key.
It's the absolute emotional key to this whole thing, because this is where that big, unspoken secret finally surfaces, the one everyone's been dreading.
The shooting.
The sources heavily hint that Rachel may finally remember, or maybe even reveal, that she shot E.J. DiMera months ago.
Wow.
She's been carrying that trauma, knowing she shot her own relative, and it's manifesting as this intense guilt over her mom going to prison.
So if she confesses, it doesn't just explain her guilt, it changes everything.
Radically shifts the power balance in the DiMera family, exposes all the hypocrisy around EJ, who's been using the search for his shooter as a shield this whole time.
And what about Rachel herself? The consequences?
They sound heartbreakingly severe, spiraling out of control, maybe turning on everyone, lashing out, potentially having a meltdown so bad she ends up in the psychiatric wing at Bayview.
Bayview. Oh, man.
It's a massive psychological cliffhanger. Rachel goes from grieving kid to the central figure of trauma, and it gets worse. The sources warn she lashes out again later in the fall, puts someone's life at risk.
So this isn't a quick fix. The trauma runs deep.
Deep and dangerous, suggests she could unintentionally harm someone while she's mentally compromised.
Okay. Wow. Shifting to the adults.
Mm-hmm.
We also see some emotional shifts, maybe resolutions, among the established couples. September 10th.
Yeah, Belle Black confides in Sean Brady, talks about her messy breakup with EJ, which happened while Sean was away visiting Claire in South Africa.
That feels like an important conversation for them.
Essential for their long-term story. And Sean's reaction is pure Sean. Right. He hates the guy, so he's obviously glad EJ's gone.
But there's more to it.
The sources hint strongly that sparks might fly, between the on-again, off-again, on-again couple. Sean and Belle, that deep, complicated history. And the fact that this potential reunion continues into the next week, it tells us Belle is consciously choosing stability, moving away from EJ's toxicity back towards Sean.
That makes sense. We also get those moments of shared grief, right? Kind of anchoring moments.
Yeah, really vital ones. Julie Williams and Maggie Horton-Kiriakis have this important heart-to-heart talking about their grief for Doug Williams and Victor Kiriakis.
Soulmates.
Exactly. And they share that beautiful, poignant thought that time moves more slowly after losing someone like that. It's less about plot, more about honoring the show's legacy, grounding things in that deep emotional history.
Yeah, important beats.
And we can't forget the professionals catching up. Marlena Evans, Salem's resident shrink.
The queen herself.
She and Caleb Brady play catch-up, and given all the stress and trauma swirling around the DiMeras, especially Rachel, it seems highly likely Marlena discusses her recurring Queen of the Night dreams.
Those usually mean something's up. Stress, premonition.
Exactly. And the immense worry she feels about young Rachel, it connects the kid's trauma right back to Marlena's expertise, potentially setting her up to treat Rachel if she does end up at Bayview.
Full circle. Okay, final thread in this section. More family fiction, more secrets. Links back to the Titan spying.
Right. Stephanie Johnson confronts her dad, Steve Johnson, and the speculation here is key.
What does she think?
She apparently thinks Steve planted the bug in the pen. Her own dad.
Whoa! But we know it was Gabi.
We do, but Stephanie doesn't. So it creates this perfect, traumatic misdirection. She suspects her heroic father of industrial espionage, makes you wonder about her state of mind, who she trusts.
Especially since she's technically supporting the regime Gabi's trying to overthrow.
Exactly. Meanwhile, Stephanie and Alex are apparently celebrating the rave reviews and the wild success of her dirty book.
Oh, right, her book.
So you have her professional success versus these family anxieties. But the key connection, Alex is trusted with a big Stephanie secret.
Well, secret. Any guesses?
Plausible speculation. Maybe she tells Alex she thinks her dad was looking into Titan, maybe offers her own theory about the bug, which just pulls Alex, already a key witness about the pen, deeper into the corporate mess, whether her suspicion about Steve is right or wrong.
Okay, so looking beyond those intense 3 weeks in September, the sources give us a little peek into the deeper fall forecast, right? Returning faces, renewed danger.
Yeah, some tantalizing hints that definitely escalate everything we've just talked about.
Like what?
Well, key character returns. Mike Horton is back for the Tom Horton Clinic opening.
Oh, nice. A Horton return.
And potentially his crazy son, Jeremy Horton, might be back too.
Jeremy, okay, that could add some drama.
Right. The Hortons are Salem's traditional heart. Bringing them back for a big clinic opening provides this backdrop of legitimacy, while EJ's running twisted experiments in another hospital lab down the street.
Nice contrast. What else?
Crucially, a new mystery puts more DiMeras in danger this fall, suggesting EJ's current schemes, or maybe the takeover attempt, leads to more violence, possibly more deaths.
Always more danger for the DiMeras. It's practically their family motto.
Pretty much. And the trouble isn't just contained there. A new threat emerges. Sloane Peterson targeting Holly in a really creepy way.
Sloane, creaky towards Holly? Why?
It seems connected to Tate Black digging into Sloane. The source says Sloane is fibbing, lying about something significant.
And Tate's already mixed up in the Tesoro baby mystery.
Exactly. So this adds another layer of danger for him and Holly, escalates the threat around the younger generation even more.
Got it. Anything else lingering?
Just one small, isolated point, but it perfectly shows EJ's reach, his systemic manipulation. On September 8th, between running an illegal lab and messing with his brother, EJ apparently takes time to listen to Gwen Ritchek complain.
Gwen? What's she complaining about?
Probably about the Hortons hating her, rejecting an olive branch from her dad, Jack. You know, standard Gwen stuff.
Okay, so why is EJ listening?
It just confirms he's still this central toxic figure, leveraging even minor grievances, using social outcasts like Gwen, expanding his network of potentially loyal, if maybe misguided allies. He's everywhere.
Okay, so, wow, that's a lot. How does this all fit together when we put all these intense pieces on the board?
Well, if you connect the dots, what the sources are really showing us is this massive convergence. 3 major, seemingly unstoppable forces heading for a collision.
Okay, lay them out.
1, you've got the corporate warfare, internal and external, purely about money and power. Gabi versus Phillips-Ander, Tony versus Gabatheo.
Right. Classic business battles.
2, the high-level federal investigation, purely about criminality and hidden science. Kat and Rafe targeting EJ's illegal lab.
The spy thriller element.
And 3, the deeply personal psychological secrets, racial shooting secret, Tesoro DNA test truth bomb.
The emotional core.
And the narrative brilliance here. EJ DiMera is standing right at the dead center of all 3.
Wow, yeah, he runs the company they're fighting over.
He runs the illegal lab the ISA is targeting.
And he's the victim of the trauma Rachel's about to expose.
Exactly. Everything seems to be building toward one single, massive, incredibly explosive confrontation this fall, something that's going to redefine the entire town. Hashtag outro.
Okay, that was an incredible amount of drama packed into just 3 weeks and the forecast right after. Just to recap the absolute critical stuff you need to track, we've got EJ running a dangerous twisted lab out of University Hospital.
Gabi's spy game is about to blow up in her face, potentially derailing the whole DiMera takeover.
The Tesoro adoption battle is heading for an explosive reveal, likely involving Tate as the father.
And maybe the most devastating, Rachel Black's psychological breakdown, fueled by the looming truth that she shot EJ. That cliffhanger is huge.
It really is. So this raises a big question, doesn't it? Something for you to really think about as this all unfolds.
Yeah. Given the sheer intensity, the scope of the DiMera family's schemes, I mean, we're talking hostile takeovers, low-level spying, and illegal scientific experiments in a hospital.
Right.
Is the biggest, most lasting threat to Salem always driven by that stuff, money and power? Or is it the suppressed stuff, the really personal, emotional trauma, like Rachel's secret? Is that what truly causes the most long-term devastating destruction in the end?
Corporate crime versus psychological fallout. That's a really interesting way to frame it. What causes more damage?
Exactly. Think about the consequences when those emotional bombs finally go off in public.
Okay, definitely something to chew on. That's it for this deep dive. Thank you so much for joining us as we navigated the schemes, the secrets, and, yeah, the twisted science of Salem.
We'll catch you next time.